Right, we're away. As I shovel another banana in my mouth. Right, we're ready. Don't talk with your mouth full. Mobility number 20. Mobility number 20, who'd have known it? That's us now moving on to glutes and groin, okay? A lot going on in those areas, plenty of movements and mobility exercises we can do for those areas. And I guarantee that even if you do keep on top of this, you're probably going to feel some of these. So these are the ones that are probably a bit more uncomfortable. But before we start, we'll get into our usual 3 suspects to mobilise and basically just get you feeling a little bit better before we start and get rid of that initial tightness. So without further ado, follow along. Put some chilled music on, sip your coffee, there's nothing wrong with that. It's nice and chilled, but at the same time, it still requires a bit of focus and a good bit of energy as well, because like I say, it's quite tiring when things are painful, okay? You're gonna get a sweat on probably on some of these. But again, it's trying to stay relaxed for the most part. Some of these are uncomfortable. It doesn't work if you're fighting against it. It doesn't work if you're tensing up against it. You need to try your best to just relax, okay? So do what you can. We're going to walk out. I'm going to plant the hands just in front of myself. Probably better if you put them a bit closer together, in my opinion. And then I'm pushing back, okay? Now this is again up to you. This is a personal one. To you, where you put the feet. I like to have them roughly just outside shoulder width. It's a nice balance for me between getting my calves, my hammies, my groin. And it allows me to get a good stretch on the upper back as well, and the lower back. So again, it's as simple as it looks. All I'm going to be doing is pushing. So it's an active one, this one. It's not a static hold, although you might get to a point you might feel you're not getting any further, but you're still trying to push through. You're still trying to get further. You're just trying to get that back nice and straight. You're trying to push the hips up and back. And then I'm coming up, and as I come up, arching the back up, and then down, okay, into that overextension. Now this is a good one if your core muscles are feeling pretty tight, as in you've done a lot of core exercises, your stomach muscles are feeling pretty stiff and sore. If they're not, you won't feel it, as in you won't feel your core stretching. But if your core's pretty tight, you'll feel the good stretch. Good idea to lift the neck up, because that's just going to lengthen everything out up the front all the more. And again, it's try not to put too much strain on the lower back here, especially at the start. But at the same point, try and relax into it and push through it. Okay, so just like the other one we've done, we're actually trying to go a bit further on this. It's not just a case of holding it, but again, you need to be sensible. If your lower back's feeling pretty tight, just introduce movement every so often, okay, and make sure it feels good. So I'm coming back up, and we're going for 3 holds. There's nothing wrong with maybe, you could go a bit wider on the stance this time if you like, or not. Again, play around with it. We're doing 3 of them, so have a play around. Try to find the best position for your hands, the best position for your feet. Again, I prefer mine just outside shoulder width. It's a nice balance to get everything in. Focusing on my breathing, and again, you can see that I'm twisting my torso. Again, by twisting my torso, I'm just enhancing the stretch on those back muscles up the side. But I'm not taking the stretch away. So when I twist, I'm not easing out. There's no point in which when I twist, it makes it easier. And then I'm coming back down. And again, get myself in a good position where I feel I can push my body through. Okay, and I'm trying to bring my head back. Think about the shoulder blades. Are they pulled together? Good, and you're just trying to push the hips through. Again, it looks like my legs are probably resting on the ground. I can feel the ground. Okay, I'm almost brushing the ground. But the only points of contact here are my toes and my hands. And that just allows me to put pressure here. Not pressure, but push the weight through more or less. And I'm coming back up. This is going to be the last one of these. So this is where you really try to go for it. Because like I say, I really am a fan of this stretch. Especially if it's your first one of the day. It just gets everything up the back of your body awakened. Stretches it all out. And again, it doesn't really matter what time of day it is. If you're just feeling a little bit stiff, a little bit tight, if you've been sat down for a while, or if you're sore from exercise, if you're feeling stiff, you know what it's like. You sit down for half an hour, and you stand up and you feel like you've seized. This is a good one
for getting all those muscles up the back of the body just stretched and lengthened out, and hopefully it'll just take away some of that stiffness. Okay, so I like to do this one before I train. I like to do it first thing in the morning. I like to do it anytime, okay? Anytime I'm moving around, so I'm coming back up. And I'm sure these are all keen exercisers. You know that feeling when your legs are sore, you get up and you're walking around and everything's a hassle. You put something's on the floor and even it's right there. The thought of even just going down to pick it up is a pain in the arse when you're sore, okay? So again, that's a good one. Just to free you up and get you moving a little bit better. And I'm sure you're feeling it already. And again, if it's the first thing you've done the day, it helps waking you up a bit more. Right, the next one we're going to do it standing up because we've got a variation that we're going to be doing today sitting down of it. But it's the usual one. Again, posterior chain, but this time we're focusing more on the hammies, glutes and lower back on this one. Okay, so we're really trying to roll up that spine, really trying to curve that spine up. So I'm stood up nice and tall, feet together, knees together, soften the knees. From here, I'm going to tuck the chin in, and that's the key point on this one always. You might forget about it because you're focusing at the bottom on trying to get a better stretch, but just always think, tuck my chin in, because it's going to lengthen straight away before I even go into this exercise. Tucking my chin in is just going to lengthen all those muscles. So as soon as I start going down and I'm rolling my body up, by tucking my chin in, I'm bringing a good stretch into the lower back. Now this is where, again, adjust it for you, okay? Adjust it for you. If you're down there and you're not feeling much, you might have the knees bent too much. If you're struggling to get down there, you might have the knees locked out, okay, in which case your hammies are going to be restricted. So I'll always say soft knees, and by that I just mean slightly unlocked, okay? And I'm going down. Sometimes it's not always a good idea to have your hands hanging down, because that'll get you in the mindset of trying to touch your toes, and that's not what we're trying to do. I'm trying to lengthen everything out up the whole back end of my body. And I try to keep going, okay? Because obviously if you're doing this one, if your arms, you're pretty much guaranteed you're going to be able to touch the ground unless your mobility is really not good. And then a lot of people touch the ground and then they just stop there. Okay, they think, right, I've touched the ground, I'm not going to go any further. But that's not what we're after. Come back up. Good, that's us. I'm feeling that, that's a good one. So I like that one. Okay, we're going to go for another two. Again, in your own time, I'll just pace me, I'll talk you through it. And we're going back down, okay? And we're not in a rush to get down. I want you to focus on rolling that spine up, okay? So tucking the chin in, rolling up as I go down, trying to keep the knees soft so I don't bend them any further. And again, keep tucking that chin in. If you want, you can put the hands behind your legs and use them to pull you in a wee bit more, but then take them away again. Make sure we're not anchoring ourselves by holding ourselves in a position, because we're trying to go further. Again, you're trying to get the most out of this. So if you're just holding it, it feels all right. It's not good enough to get better, okay? We need to try and force it a bit more. So tuck the chin in, try and roll yourself up more. If you're really not feeling it, again, check those knees. Try straighten them out a wee bit more. And then I'm coming back up. That's number two done. Whoa. Okay, again, I'm feeling that. That's a good one for the lower back. If your lower back's feeling tight, it's a great one. Okay, it doesn't really matter if it's your lower back or not. Whatever it is, it's going to help iron it out a wee bit. So I'm going back down for number three. So this is the one where I should be able to go the furthest out of the three now. Okay, and I should be able to get there a bit quicker than the previous two. So I'm down. And again, it's not always a good idea to let your arms hang. Do what you can. Maybe put them on your temples and it'll encourage you to focus on rolling yourself up. But you do what you need to do and adjust yourself as you go. Feel a damn good stretch, hold it briefly, then try to take it further. Try to do what you can to take it further, okay? Now remember that concept of rolling up the spine. Of course it's not going to be rolled up, but we're trying to imagine it is. Tuck the chin in, almost like you're trying to look back up towards the sky through your stomach. And I'm coming back up. Let the blood walk around, keep sipping that water as well, okay? Keep sipping that water. That's important because, again, a lot of people are doing this and it's first thing in the morning. So rehydrate yourself as you go. So by the time this is all over, you're ready for the day ahead, unless, of course, you're doing this at the end of the day. Right, I'm going to mobilise with some, well, I'm going to mobilise. It's a mobility movement because, obviously, I'm moving. So my feet are shoulder width apart. Don't know why I'm showing you side on.
Feet are shoulder width apart, toes pointing out. It's the setup for a normal squat, okay? If your groin's tight and you know it's tight, don't compensate by going like this, standing a wee bit wider and pointing your toes out, okay? We're trying to work through a proper range of movement, okay? So anything that is tight, we're trying to address it rather than cover it up and, well, get better at it. So I'm standing roughly shoulder width apart, okay? And your toes are pointing out at 11 and 1 o'clock, so they're not dead straight. Drive the toes into the ground. Straight away when you drive the toes into the ground, you're going to feel pressure on your foot arch, okay? That's creating a good bit of stability, okay? From here, I'm going to start squatting, but I'm doing it with a hold at the bottom. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going down, 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 trying to hold good form. I'm feeling that tightness, and for me, it's the groin that kicks in straight away. At the depth of my squat, I feel the groin starting to get a little bit stretched out. If I go any further than this point, I'm going to start tipping, and I'm going to start arching my back, which I don't want, okay? So I'm focusing on attacking the muscle that's trying to throw me off, okay, without being thrown off. Now, it might take you a few if you're really stiff, or, you know, your legs might be sore because you've done a lot of exercise. Just going down there that first time might be really stiff, really painful, really uncomfortable. I wouldn't go as far as saying really painful, but you know what it's like when your legs are sore. So do a few, okay, up and down. But remember the purpose of it. I'm not going down here to chill out. I'm going down here to try and get my squat deeper without losing form. I'm going to switch to the side so I can show you what losing form looks like. So I'm going down deep, 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 deep. If I go any lower, I can feel that my butt's going to start tucking underneath myself, like it probably is now, okay? I'm trying not to make that happen. So I'm pulling my knees apart, feeling the groin stretch. I'm also getting a bit of a stretch on the ankles. So this is where once you start to open up, okay, so now I'm feeling my groin. It's a bit more mobile. So this time when I go down, again, all I'm trying to get at here is use it as a mobility exercise to mobilize everything responsible for your squat, okay? So that includes your ankles. So if you cannot get down this far, you won't be able to mobilize your ankles this way, in which case keep doing what you can to get lower. So if you're up here and you feel yourself losing form, if you go lower, that's your holding point, that's your sticking point, that's the point I want you to work through for the next minute. If you're down and you're able to get down to reasonably good depth, sit down. Now, I'm not sitting with the weight forward all the way on my toes. I'm trying to sit my bum on my ankle, okay? Depending on the size of your bum, you might be able to achieve that. Or depending on how tight your ankles are, you might not. But when you're doing this, make sure your knee is in line with your toes, okay? Make sure your knee is in line with your toes. It's not caving in the way. And it's not a bad thing if it's going out, but we definitely don't want it to be caving in the way here, okay? Now, the whole thing about your toes, sorry, you hear people saying, oh, your knee shouldn't go in front of your toes when you're squatting. That's a load of piffle, okay? It's pretty obvious when you're putting your knees under strain. Ensure you wouldn't be wanting to squat with weight on your back and your heels coming off, because inevitably that means your knee is going excessively forward and it's going to put a lot of pressure on your knee. But that's what's important about when you're doing this stretch, that you're trying to sit the weight down on your heel. Now you can see my heel's off, okay, and that's only because I'm really pushing the depth of this squat. But again, I'm finding that balance. And you can go side to side and you just try and open it all up. And again, this might be pretty uncomfortable, but you do what you can, okay? Again, if you're away up top and you're struggling to get down, you're up here, oh, and you feel that you can't go any lower, that's fine. Hold that point, push that point, stretch the muscles out that are feeling like they're restricting you, and you're going to get better, okay? It's as simple as that. We all work towards what we can do. Right, let's get into it then. So again, keep the water on board as you go. And we're going to get into a kneeling groin stretch first, okay? So get your mat set up, and we're getting dug into this groin to start with. So the groin. The groin is a tight one for most people, okay? If you're new to exercise and you're new to these kind of movements, as in your squats, etc., or if you're like me, I've been exercising a while, you never win it, okay? Especially when you exercise, you start squatting, you start doing a lot of hard exercise, put your muscles through a lot. The groin's just constantly something that is tight, and it's something you've got to work at all the time, okay? But it affects us in so many ways. If that groin's tight, that's again, a lot of people, in fact, let's get into this stretch. I'm just talking here, might as well talk while we do it. So my knees are as far apart as we can, okay? Now, as you start going into this stretch, you might be able to pull them further apart. So I'm showing you from the front first. I'm going to switch to the side if you're not sure. So I'm going to switch to the side so you can see what I'm trying to achieve. Now, I'm trying to keep this spine of mine fairly neutral. Okay, I'm not just going like this and going like that. I'm trying to pull my knees apart as I'm pushing my hips back the way, okay? So I'm going that way, I'm going back the way, pulling my knees apart, almost pretty much replicating what I would be doing with my groin in a squat when you think about it, okay? So I'm trying to push those hips further down. Okay, so let me talk you through it now. You may be holding it at a point that feels like it's getting a damn good stretch, and that's good, okay? But we want to take it further, remember. We're trying to enhance our mobility and flexibility, so that means we're going to have to push it a wee bit more beyond the range in which we're quite comfortable going to. So this one especially, it can get pretty uncomfortable, the groin stretch. We're not trying to introduce pain, okay? You know the difference. Pain's something that's not very bearable. But discomfort, you know, for right now in this moment in time, I probably wouldn't fall asleep like this. Okay, it's not the most pleasant feeling in the world. But there's a lot of stiffness in there to be getting rid of. And again, as you're pushing your hips back, try to think about that lower back. We're trying to keep that spine neutral, as in I don't want you to start curving the lower back. Now what you do with your arms is up to you. You can see I'm in the elbow kind of position here. Just loosely putting weight, lightly putting weight, should I say, on my elbows. I'm not putting all my body weight on my elbows because most of it should be on your knees. Okay, I'm pulling those knees apart and trying to shift back. At no point am I easing out of this. Okay, so from start to finish, from when I started this, I'm going further and further and further. And that involves a process of moving a little bit further, feeling the discomfort, focusing on my breathing, trying to relax, trying to keep myself relaxed and heavy into the movement, as in I don't want to be fighting it and tensing up against it. And then eventually it'll be a bit more bearable. I can feel it almost relax a little bit. And then when I say a little bit, I mean a little bit because it's still uncomfortable. And then I go a wee bit more, okay? And that's a constant process here, everybody. So again, because I'm moving so little increments at a time, it probably looks like I'm just static holding here and I'm just holding it and chilling out, but I can assure you I am not. And as you can probably hear by my voice, I've just shifted it again. Okay, and this is a great stretch. Again, we're pretty much simulating with our groin what we're going to be doing at the bottom of a squat, but taking it further. Plus, we're not activating any muscle groups here, so that's good. It's allowing us, that's why, you know, we were doing the one before there. If your ankles are tight, you're not going to be able to mobilise the groin very well in your groin stretch that we just done before. But also it's a stress position, as in you've got your quads working, your glutes are working, they're firing up to hold you in that position, okay? Right, this is it. We're going for 20 more seconds, so I want you to really focus and make sure you're taking it far. Again, that discomfort that you're feeling, okay? I'm feeling it, but I'm trying to relax and try and disconnect from it a wee bit. And all I mean by that is, again, I'm not being all mindful on you. It's try not associate all this stuff with pain and discomfort, and try not have your face screwed up, because then you're not relaxed, are you? So it's trying to relax into the discomfort and just kind of take it for what it is. Okay, now I'm going to start working my way out of this one now, and I say working my way out because it's very uncomfortable when you start shifting back out of this one as you're about to feel. Okay, I want you to come out of it slowly. Okay, we need to let the blood flow back in there. So I want you to slowly work your way up to your feet. When you're on your feet, walk around, throw in a few squats if you like, but just try to, again, take your time with it, because depending on how tight it was, you might be walking around going, oh! Okay, so keep sipping that water. Good. And shake yourself out. Right, again, we're getting attacked into the groin, but it's probably, again, I keep saying it's my favourite groin stretch. I'd say out of all of them, we've got the kneeling groin stretch, which we've just done, but also we've got that warrior lunge one, which is, again, replicating being at the bottom of a squat. And I really like this one because it really opens up the hips. So get your mat set up. And this is going to be a long one. Okay, you know what's coming now. So a big lunge forwards. Okay, big lunge forwards. Get my hand, pin in my foot, get the other hand, make sure your palms are flat. Adjust your position, get your body centered over the middle of your hands as if you were in a press up. And that back leg is resting on the ground, okay? I'm not trying to do, again, you get different variations of this one where you're holding it with your knee off the ground. Again, that's probably Pilates or yoga or something like that, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it's a different system we're working here. We're trying to strengthen myself in this position, not what we're doing today. Okay, I just want you to be relaxed as you can and focus on the target area that we're in. So we're going to be feeling it in the groin. Okay, that back leg, you might be feeling that hip flexor getting that wee bit. Now I've pinned a hand on the foot for a reason. It just lets me keep pulling that knee out, making sure it doesn't start caving in. And all I'm doing for the first part is pushing my hips down towards the floor while trying to get my chest up. Okay, get your chest up as if you've got a logo on your t-shirt and you're trying to present it to a mirror or the camera in front of you, okay? So that's what I'm trying to do. So it's not a very comfortable one if you're feeling pretty tight, okay? Now that's phase one. Stop pulling faces, that is Leslie. Good. Right, everybody, so straight away, again, I'm getting at the point here that I'm not chilling out. It looks like I'm just holding it, and in the sake of holding it, I'm pushing my hips down actively, trying to force my chest up, okay? So that's part one, and depending on how new you are to this or how good you are at it, that alone might be a hell of a discomfort. Now what I'm going to start introducing is keep pushing the hips down, that's the main point, but I'm going to start twisting away from that knee. But as soon as I do this, if you watch me now, as soon as I do that, even just move that way, I feel it, okay? I feel the stretch getting enhanced all the more. If you don't feel that, it's guaranteed it's because you've started lifting the hips. So make sure you're always driving the hips down. As you twist, make sure that knee is getting pulled away from you still, as in you don't start twisting and bringing the knee with you, because then all you're doing is holding the same stretch, but you're just moving around with it. So I'm trying to move, and again, it's little increments. There's no point going all the way around because you're trying to think that getting away around here is great for you. If you're not enhancing the stretch as you go round, you're defeating the purpose of it. That's all I'll say in the matter. The reason I'm moving round is not just because I'm trying to get myself in an awkward position, it's because I'm trying to lengthen out that all the more, okay? I'm really trying to open up that groin now. So hopefully you're feeling it. Pushing the hips down, keep your checklist going. Okay, I've moved, I'm feeling it, it's uncomfortable, right? Push the hips down, force the chest up. Is my knee still getting pulled away? Good. And then I'm coming back to the center. Okay, reset into this position. So at no point did I ease out there, so do not ease out. You might feel your hips are a bit lower than they were when you started this. And now I'm going to go the other way. But again, make sure the hips are getting pushed down on this. You can, if you like, grab a hold of that foot and drive it down. I'm going to drop my elbow. Why? Because it's going to let me get down into this further. Try it. If you drop the elbow and it doesn't work for you, work up to it. But again, if I don't drop my elbow, I'm pretty restricted by where I can go here, aren't I? I can't really go much further than this. But again, beginners, that might just be enough for you. Trying to get your chest towards your ankle from here might be hell. If not, and you want to try taking it a bit further, drop the elbow. And try and keep the foot flat on the floor, because if we start lifting that foot off, that's when we're starting to shift that knee position, and we're going to start stretching out the glutes more, which we don't want because we're going to be hitting them pretty damn shortly. Good, and then I want you to come back into the center, okay? And then we're going to change legs. But I want you to get up, because these are a bit longer, get up, walk around, stretch it out, get a sip of water, and then we're changing legs, okay? I'm just keeping this going this morning. Didn't have enough to eat this morning, in a rush. So now I'm drinking my breakfast. Okay, so we're getting into the next side. It's exactly the same. And again, like I keep saying on this one, if you're advanced, you'll be getting a lot more from it, as in you'll find those rotations are really taking you to new places. Beginner, you might just be holding the normal stretch and thinking, holy God, this is horrendous. And you might be struggling to get that back straight. And like I say, there's no right or wrong. So let's change legs. There's no right or wrong. It's just like fitness, okay? Someone's always going to be faster than you. Someone's always going to be better than you. That doesn't mean to say you're crap. Okay, it just means you've got something to aim for. Oh, that's true, right? And if you find yourself feeling like you've accomplished and you're good at what you do, you need to find someone that's better than you, and then you'll start pushing yourself more again, okay? So it's the same thing. Mobility isn't just something that I woke up one morning and I was great at. I can assure you, I kind of found mobility at a point in my life when I think I needed it more than anything. You know, you start thinking things are broken, things aren't working properly, and you're thinking, well, wait a minute, I'm only whatever age. Shouldn't it be the case? And you've got people telling you that that doesn't work and this isn't good for you and exercise is bad, blah, 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 blah. Okay, you've probably heard it all before. Okay. But again, when I started finding mobility, that's when I started to realise that, well, wait a minute, this body of mine is not working the way it's meant to. And again, for this is a classic example. This stretch alone, when I first done it, I was like this. Okay, my back was arched, I was on my fingertips, I couldn't get down. Okay, and it just takes time. Again, there's a lot going on in this stretch. If your upper back's real tight, doing the thoracic spine work that we do, and those cat-cow things as well, that's going to help open up that, which is going to help just you get that back a bit straighter. Okay, it's not always just the groin that's going to make that easier. But again, if your groin's real tight, you're going to struggle to get the hips down, which is meaning you're going to struggle to get the back straight. So all I'm getting at is it's a process, okay? The more you do it, the better you're going to get. And if you're not getting better at it each time that you're doing it, it's either because you're awesome at it already, or you're quite simply just happy holding these positions, okay? Rather than develop during these mobility classes that you're doing, you're probably not taking it far enough and you're just maintaining, which maintenance is okay, it's better than nothing, but we're trying to get better, okay? And just like fitness, that involves a good bit of discomfort, okay? So I'm starting to twist here again, pushing the hips down. And a good bit of gentle persuasion, because your brain's telling you right now, right, this is the reason it's tensing up, I don't want you to go this way, okay? Your brain's doing its job of trying to protect your joints, trying to protect your muscles from getting strained. But again, because it's not used to going to these positions, it thinks that we're doing something bad here. Okay, it's like someone pulling your finger back, okay? But it's nothing like that. It's nothing like someone pulling your finger back. Maybe it is, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Probably better you just mute me. I'd mute me. Right, so I'm going the other way now. Dropping that elbow if you can and pulling myself down towards it. So all I'm getting at there is, again, I'm normally saying that because some people, when they're not good at things, just give up on it and think, oh, well, I'm rubbish at this. But I can assure you, okay, I'd give it a couple of years ago, I would not be doing a mobility class in front of you, okay? But from this, and again, mobility number 20, I like to think you've been following us a wee while. You start to know the areas, okay? You're probably going, oh, no, it's that stretch. Okay, that one's always hellish for me. And that's one thing that I've learned, and one thing I keep repeating myself, but take away from it, the ones you struggle with, extract them and do them in your own time, okay? For me, it's always a never-ending battle trying to keep the groin mobile, okay, for me, because when I exercise, I can barely walk for days after it, especially squats, and it's always my groin that I feel it in. That's just me. So I've always got to keep on top of my groin mobility, because if I don't, okay, when my groin seizes up, that's when I start exercising, my back starts to feel dead tight. Again, common cause. A lot of people think the hamstrings are tight, and it's not. It's the groin. Not always. Maybe they're glutes, but I'm just talking. Right, so glute time. Sitting down, sitting on my hip, sitting on my butt, leg out 90 degrees in front of me. And this is where this will probably feel a bit better than it normally does. Why? Because your groin's a bit more mobile, okay? Because a lot of the time when I'm doing this one, if my groin's tight, I feel it straight away in my groin more than I do my glutes. You might still feel it in your groin, and that's fine, okay? Right, I've got my leg out 90 degrees in front of me, chest nice and proud, and I'm going to start moving towards it. It's a good idea to pin that foot with a hand, because if it is feeling tight, or when you really start pushing it, you might find that the leg starts creeping towards you a wee bit, which is going to take the stretch away. So I'm going to show you quickly here, and then I'm going to move to the side so you can see exactly what I'm doing. So you're trying to throw the back leg behind you, 90 degrees, there or thereabouts, and then I'm going down, okay? So straight away I'm going down, and as I go down, I'm starting to feel it in my groin, but also my glutes. For the first part of this, I want you to just focus on getting the chest towards the knee. Got it roasting in here. Okay, now you play around with this one. You're trying to get down as low as you can, but look at my back now. I'm not wanting to be arched. Okay, I'm trying to get myself down there without overly arching my back. So you'll know what I mean, because you're trying to feel that stretch. You're trying to take it further. Now what you can do with this to help enhance the glutes, I'm stretching my left leg. So if I start twisting towards the left, you might find it's better. Not so much if you twist towards the right, but you might get a bit more of the glutes in if you twist the torso towards the left, or if you're stretching out the right leg, twist towards the right, okay? So as I'm going down, again, if that doesn't feel better, don't do it, okay? I'm just talking you through what's feeling like I'm getting a better stretch, and chances are you probably will too on this one. But if I twist to the left, twist away from that knee as I'm going down, I'm lengthening out those glutes a bit more, okay? Now, we're doing this one first, and then we're going to get into that enhanced glute one while we're up on top of it, okay? But before we do that, I like this one also because I feel it targets us a little bit differently. So again, while you're in that position, move around. It looks like I'm fidgeting, but I'm not at any point easing out of the stretch. I'm just moving within it and trying to mobilise myself. Right, when you're ready to change legs, I'm going to have to nip to the toilet, busting for a pee, and I'm losing the relaxation. That's the reason why I'm sweating more than anything, if I'm honest, trying to hold it in, and we've still got another 15 minutes, so I'll be damned if I can. Change legs. I'll need to edit that bit out of the video. Oh, please do. Might have known I would have heard your voice, Leslie. Right, I do apologise. In fact, I'm not really apologising because you're still stretching. Good. Just goes to show you don't really need me. Right, good. So we're back. I'm going to have to do my other leg now as well. So, yeah, like I say, you get down into this one. And the key is we're trying to throw that leg behind us at the same time, okay? If you've not thrown that leg far enough behind you, that's when you might not be feeling a good stretch. So it's all about the position. And again, if you twist away, so now you can see I'm doing my right leg. If I start to twist away from it, you might help enhance it a wee bit. Good. Okay, so if you're ready, you can get up out of that one because you've been holding it longer than me. And then the next one we're going to do, so if you want to get up and shake it out, you can. The next one we're going to do is that enhanced glute one, okay? That pigeon pose as it's called elsewhere, okay? And it's pretty much, where's my water? It's pretty much the same thing, okay? Except we're getting up on top of it. So when we're doing that warrior lunge one that we've done, that big lunge forward, the groin one, it's almost like that combined into the glute stretch that we've just done there. But we're getting, the reason we set up from the floor first rather than, you know, go down like this, is that it's hard. There's a lot of stiffness on this one, and sometimes it's hard to keep the knee on the ground, okay? So get set back up into the original stretch we've done for the glutes. So I'm sitting down, my knee's on the ground, my heel's on the ground, and I'm going to pin that with my, I'm not going to pin it with my foot, I'm going to pin my foot with my hand. And again, it's because I want that to stay in this position. I'm going to get up on top of it, bring the knee back down, and then try to center myself over my leg, okay? Now this is one where, for me, with this especially, it's tight. Really feel that in the hip, right where I should feel it. Right on the glutes, okay? Right in that hip capsule, I'm feeling that strain. Good strain. But because it's real stiff for me, I fight this one a lot, okay? My body's trying to fight it, and what I mean by fighting it is that knee is pushing into the ground without me really trying to make it. My brain's doing it for me, okay? Because it doesn't like this. So what I need to try and think about is maybe a couple of bounces, like I say, identify that I am fighting it, and then try to relax all my weight down into that knee, into that leg, okay, into this lower leg, and then you'll feel straight away yourself sinking into the ground, and that's you relaxing into it, and that's when it's pretty uncomfortable, okay? That's my point. Sometimes you don't realise how much you're fighting a stretch. It's usually the ones that you find most difficult, the ones that are more uncomfortable. For me, this one might not be for you. You might feel good in this one. But for me, I've got a lot of tightness in those glutes today, and that hip joint's feeling pretty tight. So as a result, my body doesn't really want me to be stretching it out. So just be conscious and make sure you're relaxed into it. Give it a few bounces. Yep, good, I'm relaxed. It's uncomfortable. And you can get off the arms and you can get down onto it if you like. But again, you play around with the position. Okay, anything that makes it feel like you're getting a better stretch. If you want to try adding some rotations in, you can. My point is, try to always make it better. When you're trying to push the weight down on it. It's not a comfortable one at all. In fact, I'd go as far as saying for me personally, this is probably the most uncomfortable one. But again, that's me. This is a stretch, and I've always found with this stretch that there's times in my life when I just forget about it. I forget all about it. Maybe not now, because we've been doing nothing but mobility recently. Ease out of that. But I find when you do that one often, it becomes pretty, it's like anything. But I'll lose that one pretty quickly. If I don't do that one on a regular basis, I really struggle, okay? I really struggle to do it. It gets really uncomfortable, really tight. So it's definitely an effective stretch. Now, for me, I know, again, because I've done it enough now that I'm starting to know my body, my right side's always a hell of a lot tighter than my left. So that's when you're going to maybe feel that difference. For a lot of people, it's the same. Not always the right, it might be your left. But again, straight away, as soon as I'm even in this position, feeling that discomfort already, okay? I don't even need to put any weight on my knee. Just trying to get in this position is bad enough. So this is where beginners, like I say, you might be up here like I am just now, and you're feeling it, and that's fine. You're still trying to go lower, okay? But the key point is, make sure you've got the knee on the ground, make sure you've got the foot on the ground. That's part one. Okay, that's what you're trying to aim for first. If you're real tight, it's going to be a struggle just to try and get that knee on the ground and keep your body up on top of it. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to achieve, part one. Then, throughout this, as I'm applying more and more pressure and trying to get further into it, again, give it a wee bounce. Am I fighting it a wee bit? Try and relax into it. Try and relax that hip joint. Try to relax that knee. Try to not fight it anymore. Okay, you can drop to the elbows if you like, but again, try and stop that foot sliding away from you. If it starts sliding in towards you, you're going to make the stretch much, much less effective. Much less? Much less? Can you say that? Okay, so again, I'm moving around within it, trying to just find better ways of doing it. Find little pockets of tightness. But keeping that core stretch there, okay? Keeping that feel there, but trying to take it further. Good. Good. And then when you're ready, slowly ease out of it. Again, get back up. Good. Only when you're ready. Hopefully that's feeling okay for you. So that enhanced glute one, again, that's probably one of my better ones, okay? That's one of my more favourite. When I say favourite, I don't enjoy doing it. I really don't enjoy doing that one because it's uncomfortable. But that's one that I feel you get a hell of a lot from. Okay, so out of all the glute ones, that's the one for you. If you know your glutes are tight, get that one done. Throw that one into your day some point. Okay, right, next up is another glute stretch. It's going to be the final glute stretch. It's another way to stretch the glutes, but it's just like doing, pull-ups versus chin-ups, okay? It's still working the same muscle groups. It's just by changing the position of our hands from overhand to underhand, we're putting more emphasis on certain areas within those muscle groups, okay? So it's still a glute stretch. It's just you're probably going to feel it slightly differently. This is where you're either going to need, a sofa will probably work, a wall will work even better, okay? So if you've got a wall, it's going to work even better. Sofa, bench, whatever. I'll show you what we're doing very quickly. Okay, all I'm doing is raising my foot up, getting this close across, basically crossing that leg, getting nice and close. I want to shift nice and close to the wall, and then all I'm doing is this, okay? But let me talk you through it, because that's going to give you time to realise what you need to set up. Now, okay, it works better if it's a wall, because you can put your foot flat against it. I'm not against the wall, and I know I'm still going to get a damn good stretch. So all I want you to do is, this is your wall, get up to the side of it. So I'm side on because I want to get nice and close, because what will happen is, if you try and do it the way I just showed you there, you'll struggle to get as close to the wall as you can, okay? You'll struggle to get, because we want to try and get nice and close, because it's going to allow us a much greater range to get through this and get a better stretch. So it's easier if you sit side on to the wall, not far off it, but then not too close or it won't work, and then spin around, get the leg up on the wall, or the bench like I'm doing now, get this leg across. Make sure it's not the ankle bone that's on your quads, okay, at your knee, because that's going to be uncomfortable. I've got this part here, sitting, okay? See what I'm doing there? Get a bigger screen, Leslie, for goodness sake. Can you see me on live? Do you know what I'm doing? Can you see me okay? You know how you sit and read the Sunday newspaper? It's like that, okay? You can do this one sat on the chair, but the reason I'm telling you to get closer, I'm not really that close. Okay, I could do with getting closer. Why? Because my butt's almost touching the ground. And if that butt touches the ground, that's as far as I'm going to get out of that stretch. So again, get nice and close to the wall, spin round, get the foot on the wall, get this across, and then adjust yourself. So where are we going to be feeling this one? Right there, okay? You're feeling it on the glutes, aren't you? But you're feeling it a little bit differently. So what I want you to focus on is this knee here. You're trying to push it that way, but then also the hips, trying to get my hips down towards the ground. Now I know how close I am to this bench and how tight my glutes are. That is never going to touch the ground, so I don't want you thinking no chance, because it's better. If you can get your hips to touch the ground, you're probably not you're not close enough to the wall, if that makes sense. Now what I'm doing here, like I say, I'm pushing that knee and I'm trying to push my hips down, and I'm feeling it right here, okay? Feeling it right across the glutes. What you can do now is keep pushing the hips down. So I want you to focus, push the hips down, but pull the knee now towards you. Feeling that now? That big, I've forgotten the name of it now. That big muscle that runs across your butt. Okay, that's one that you'll most definitely be feeling tight, okay? But to get that, I'm pushing the hips down and I'm pulling the knee across to my opposite shoulder, if that makes sense. And if it does, you'll feel it straight away running right up your jacksie, but in a good way. Okay, and then I'm pushing that knee again. Good, and relax. In fact, you don't even need to relax. You can pretty much just change position where you are. Okay, save time. So again, first part, I'm crossing that leg, and then I'm pushing the knee away, and I'm letting those hips sink. So straight away, I'm feeling it pretty much on the glutes and not much else. Now this is where you might feel your lower back, okay? You might feel your lower back, and this is what I mean. It's all linked in. We're stretching out the glutes. So I'm pushing that knee away from me, pushing it away that way, while trying to push my hips down towards the ground, and stay relaxed though. Trying to relax the hips, relax the glutes, make myself feel heavy and sink into the ground. Good. Then what I can do is continue pushing my hips down. Okay, so I'm trying to push my hips down, grab the knee and pull it across the way to your opposite shoulder. While you have to push the hips down, otherwise you won't feel it. And you'll start to feel that across the butt also. Okay, I'm pretty confident you will. But you need to be pulling the pulling the knee towards the opposite shoulder, this way. And you won't have to push it far, you won't have to pull it far, sorry. But you'll only feel it if you continue pushing your hips down. If you just pull the knee, probably not going to feel it. It needs to be relaxed. If you're fighting it, you're tensing it. When you pull that knee, you won't feel it. And you don't have to pull it far. I'm probably applying about 2 fingers worth of pressure to pull this knee across, okay? I don't need to do much to make it work. Okay, I'm going to ease out slowly, and when you do, just take your time. And again, that's where you also would feel that your lower back's getting a bit of a good one on that one as well. So that's another way of doing it, okay? And again, it's just like a different variation of an exercise, okay? It's like press-ups, and then doing press-ups with your feet elevated on a bench. We're still working the same muscle groups, we're just putting... Good, good, the one on the wall. Good, fantastic. I like feedback because I don't know. But that's where everybody's different, but I think that one works really well because it really does put you in a more relaxed position to stretch your glutes out. You know, that enhanced glute one's pretty horrible if you're tight and it's very uncomfortable. But that one lets you really relax and put your body weight. You're pretty much working with gravity on your side on that one, so you can kind of relax into it more. And I think out of them all, that's probably the one that really does isolate your glutes, especially if you start pulling your knee across, you'll start feeling... Can't remember the name of the muscle, but there's a muscle that runs across your butt. I can't remember the name of it. I think I know what it is, but I don't want to say it, and then it turns out that that's in your arm or something, and then I look like a clown, so silence is probably better. Right, thank you very much. That is glutes and groin done, okay? And like I say, it just works out that way, okay? I'm not trying to... I've got the full body, and we're just doing the full body forever, okay? We're going round and round and round. So next time, I think that'll be us pretty much onto the upper body one, which I'm starting to like.